All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's December 3rd. We got 9 games to get into today on this lovely Friday. Yesterday we went 1-3. Steven Adams rebounds hit, but the Bucks we had -4. I didn't know. I mean, maybe that's just the dummy in me. I didn't know that Giannis was not going to be playing. I didn't see that anywhere before the game, before he got ruled out. So that's a bummer there. We ended up taking the Bucks, and I don't think I would have taken them without Giannis, but it is what it is. That's on me. And then we tempted, we questioned the basketball gods. We said we're going to take the Blazers knowingly without Damian Lillard. That didn't work out. And then Keldon Johnson, 14 points. We needed 15 out of him to hit his over. So those are 3 losses there. Steven Adams being the sole win there, and we just squeaked that one out. So it wasn't a great night last night, but nonetheless, we move on to December 3rd. We got 9 games to get into today. Make sure you guys stick around to the end of the video for the shout out of the day and for a chance to be featured in tomorrow's video. But let's jump right into it here. We'll blow through these games. A couple I like, a couple I'm staying away from. I can already tell you guys, after a losing night, you guys know I'm not trying to force anything just to try and make back what we potentially lost the night before. That's just not what we do. So I'll let you guys know how we're feeling in each and every game. But as always, keep an eye on the pinned comment for what I'm actually playing. What I'm actually putting my money on tonight, what I'm riding with on this Friday, it'll be in the pinned comment. So check that out. But let's get into this. We got the Washington Wizards hosting the Cavs here. Wizards 4.5-point favorites over this Cleveland Cavaliers team. This Cavs team 16-5-1 against the spread. Wizards 12-10 against the spread. I would say, I wanna lean the Cavs here because they just keep covering. But to me, it is going to be a lean towards Washington. I mean, I know every time that I pick against the Cavs, people are like, "Oh my God, do you realize they cover every single game?" and blah blah blah. And totally right. Not even cover every single game. They're out of this losing streak, and they beat Dallas. They beat Miami. Washington has also won 3 out of the last 4, though not against the same sort of talent, I guess. But I am going to lean Washington here. They're at home, and they're an 8-2 against the spread team at home. So they're arguably as good against the spread as this Cleveland Cavaliers team is overall when Washington's at home. I'm going to be leaning. I don't think that number's that high. I know the Cavs can cover. I know it's tough to pick against them, but -4.5 for Washington is what my lean is going to be here. Next up, we have the Pacers playing the Heat. The Heat, some injuries here. Jimmy Butler is going to be out, and Bam Adebayo is out as well. The Heat are getting 5 points here. The Pacers host them at home. I think without Jimmy Butler, without Bam Adebayo, you got to lean against the Heat here. Like, you still would like to say this Heat's a good team without those 2 guys because they have crucial pieces and whatnot, but those are arguably their 2 best players. So I'm going to be, probably leaning, and this one may make the ticket. I'm going to be going Pacers -5 at home here. At home, the Pacers are 6-5 against the spread, and at least they have a winning against the spread record at home. Like, you know what I mean? There's facts that we can kind of bank this on. I think without Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo too, this Pacers team ends up having the matchup edge in terms of player for player over the Heat. So I would lean Pacers -5, and that's strictly due to injuries. I don't know if that one makes the final ticket, I guess. I'm like 85% there. But I do think when you have a team that has their 2 best players are out, and now you only have to cover 5 points. 5 points doesn't strike me as too much in this game, so I lean Pacers -5. Check the pinned comment, though, if you guys want to see if I end up pulling the trigger on that one. Next up, we have the Nets hosting the Timberwolves. Nets 7.5-point favorites here. The Nets are 15-6 overall. At home, they're 3-7 against the spread. On the road, they're 5-5 against the spread. Whereas this Timberwolves team actually with a better against the spread record than the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know if I can get myself to do this. I want to lean Minnesota +7.5. But I don't think that I could pull the trigger on that. That's going to be the softest lean for me. I think that this Nets team is starting to show that they're just one of the best teams in the league. They're beating some good competition. Really only losing to, their only 2 losses in the last 10 games were to Golden State and to Phoenix. So this Nets team is there. This Nets team is now firing. They had, I guess, I don't even know if we can call it. It was the most brief up and down start to the year before they're like, oh no, we're a good team. But I feel like for whatever reason, people still think that, they've had a rocky year. They haven't. The Nets have had a really good year. Against the spread-wise, you can argue rocky. But overall, this Nets team is good. I would lean Minnesota, but it comes down to Karl-Anthony Towns being injured and Anthony Edwards being probable here. Like, there's injuries there that are crucial. So if one of those guys, obviously one of those guys doesn't play, then I all of a sudden lean Nets here. I don't think this one makes a ticket, though. But it's all injury dependent for me, honestly. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns not on the floor for the Timberwolves. Like, yeah, talk about needing one of your best guys. Next up, we have the Hawks hosting the Sixers here. Hawks minus 1.5, and I've seen, every bit of research I've done on this game, everyone's like, oh, Hawks at home, Hawks at home, Hawks at home. This is easy, this is easy, this is easy. Hate to be the contrarian in the room, and I could be wrong, but I think I'm rolling with the Sixers tonight. Sixers getting 1.5. No real injuries to look at here. Cam Reddish is questionable for the Hawks, and Bogdanovich is out for the Hawks, but no real injuries to be concerned with on the Philadelphia side of things. They just lost by 1 to Boston, my Boston Celtics, and this Atlanta Hawks team just, they're on a hot tear. I can admit that. But wouldn't it be kind of, interesting to see the Hawks go and play on the road against the Pacers, squeak out a win, come back home, and all of a sudden the Sixers are like, yeah, no, let's do this. Let's take care of you. So I think that all money and all bets are looking at Atlanta here, whereas I almost like the Sixers to win this one outright. We'll watch the line. We'll take the points, but I kind of want to go underdog here. That's my lean right now. Next up, we have the Rockets playing the Magic. What a great game. Rockets 2.5-point favorites. I guess you could say it's a good game because this Rockets team has won 4 in a row. And before anyone, acts like that's a good win streak or anything like that, the Rockets, 2 of those wins have come against OKC. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like a real win streak. I mean, hey, if they're going to continue to, prove me wrong, and because I said the Rockets gave up on basketball, whatever, they can do it. I like to see it. I'm not going to be touching this game, though. Minus 2.5. This is just if I try and pick a side here, I'm forcing something. So let me know in the comments if you guys have anything on that game, but I am probably not going to be playing that game. There's also another one I'm probably not going to be touching. Dallas Mavericks hosting the New Orleans Pelicans here. These guys just played a couple nights ago. The Mavericks blew out the Pelicans. And I think I've said over and over on this channel, I just can't seem to trust my money with the Pelicans. And this is a spot for them where, it's like the revenge game. Dallas blew them out. Now let's go get them. They're getting 7.5 points here. That just doesn't seem like it's too much. It's too much for me to bet Dallas, but it's too little for me to bet New Orleans. So I'm sticking away from this one. I know, 2 games in a row that I kind of just pass on here, but I just don't have a read there. So let me know in the comments if you guys have anything on those games. Here we go. Next up, we have the Jazz hosting the Celtics. Bias pick alert. Celtics getting 8.5 points on the road here. The Celtics team, they've been a roller coaster. They've been up and down. They have won 3 out of their last 5. They've beaten a couple good teams along the way here. Toronto, Philly. They're on a 2-game win streak here. Utah, I don't need to talk about them. They're one of the best teams in the league. I truly believe that. I know that they've had some bad losses as of late, but 14-7 overall, 12-9 against the spread. I just think 8.5 points might be a little bit too much to lay to my Boston Celtics. And I should put a big old bias on my forehead because you guys know, like, I hate the people like, oh, you can't separate your bias towards the Celtics and your picks. If you've been watching the channel long enough now, you know that I can't bet against the Celtics. And when I like the number, I might bet on the Celtics. And I'm not telling you guys I'm going to bet the Celtics. But what my lean would be is that that's a decent amount of points. 8.5 points is a lot to give the Celtics team, even if you are the Jazz. So that's where my lean is there. Might be a biased lean, but that's what it is right now. Here we go. We got the battle of the LAs. Lakers hosting the Clippers. Lakers 2-point underdogs at home. This Clippers team, I mean, Paul George screwed us the other night. Now, I didn't bet it. I got lucky, but I was excited to watch that game and everything like that. Paul George just decides to rest. So I can't even count it as a loss. It was one of my leans. I did expect the Clippers to win big over the Kings, and then he just sits. I hope that doesn't happen tonight because I'm leaning Clippers here on the road against this Lakers team. I know this Lakers team might get up for this game. I believe I thought LeBron was going to miss multiple games. I see that LeBron's probable. Even after testing positive or whatnot, maybe he had a couple negative tests or whatever. But Anthony Davis is questionable here. I think even if all teams are, if everyone's fully healthy, minus Kawhi Leonard, obviously, I would lean Clippers here. I think they're just the better ball club right now. But to me, the only reason I don't love that bet is because you're almost taking the underdog but you're not the underdog. You're taking the Clippers, who I do think should be considered the underdog just based on talent. And, you have to give 2 points there. But I would lean Clippers anyways. I think they're a better team than the Lakers as of right now. But this Lakers team, they look like a really good team some nights. Then they look god-awful the next. You never really know what you're getting out of them. Keep an eye on the pin comment for that one, though. That is one that I could do more and more sort of thinking on and everything like that, and all of a sudden could flip my answer on. All right, next up we have the Warriors hosting the Suns. Hey, Suns beat the Warriors just a couple nights ago. The Warriors are, the Suns are on a back-to-back. The Warriors, 6.5 points is a lot, but you know what the choo-choo train does. We are riding this Dub Nation train. Yes, it blew up in our face when playing the Suns last time out, which was, I believe, at the end of November. Let's see, I got it. November 30th. Warriors lost by 8. That was the last Warriors game. They're coming out with vengeance. Revenge spot for the Warriors tonight. I like the Warriors in this one. 6.5 is a decent amount. I might, just to be safe, maybe buy a point. 5.5 just seems like a way better number to me. But keep an eye on the pinned comment for the update there, guys, because I don't even know if I'm gonna buy a point but I am betting the Warriors because that's just the train that we're on. You know what I mean? I'm blindly, which is not something I recommend and probably shouldn't do. That's a dummy in me speaking, but I'm blindly following the Warriors at this point until it truly blows up in our face. It did against the Suns, but they're playing the Suns again. I like this number. No Devin Booker either for the Suns, so give me the Warriors all day long. We're turning into a Warriors fan before your very eyes on this show. But let's get into the hashtag of the day. Yesterday's hashtag of the day was stay hot. Slimed Out comes in. It says stay hot. Milwaukee -4. Bulls -2. DeAndre Ayton double and a win. The only thing that didn't hit there is Milwaukee -4. And you guys know I'm not perfect, and I don't expect anyone in the comments to be perfect. So, we've changed to if you give me your picks, all you got to do is go positive or have a good night here. DeAndre Ayton double and a win. Bulls -2. Take those 2 wins out of those 3. He went 2-3 or 2-1 yesterday. And I will say, same thing for me. Getting screwed with the Milwaukee play because Giannis decides not to play. I don't even know what they said. Giannis was out with an ankle or something like that. To me, it's kind of like, oh, you're on the back-to-back. You're not playing. But anyways, yeah, stay hot was the comment or the hashtag of the day yesterday, guys. If you don't know what the hashtag of the day is, shout out to one more shout out there to Slimed Out going 2-1. If you don't know what the hashtag of the day is, I'm going to drop you a hashtag in 2 seconds here. All you got to do is drop that hashtag in the comments. Give me your plays, and you got a chance to be featured in the next video if you do that. And the reason we do it at the end of the video and everything like that is kind of to see who's sticking around, who sees the hashtag of the day, everything like that, because plenty of people comment their picks. And I'm reading all the comments, the love comments, the hate comments, everything like that, right? I'm reading all the comments. But some people drop their picks, and I've seen, someone go 5-0 before, and I'm like, oh, my God, I wish I could put you in the shout-out raffle for the next day, but you didn't use the hashtag. So, yeah, use the hashtag of the day here, guys. And honestly, I don't know, we might be starting to switch it up. If you want to just, give a sentence or something like that using the hashtag, you could do that too. It doesn't necessarily have to be picked, because I know not everyone. Some people watch the videos, I guess, just for entertainment purposes. They don't even want to gamble or anything like that. So that's totally fine. But for today, still, we're still putting the pool of candidates to be shouted out as picks. But I'm just telling you that could be a recent upcoming change here. But today's hashtag of the day is, I got creative with this one, Friday. It's Friday. Let's go make some money on this Friday, guys. It's simple, but drop your hashtag Friday in the comments. Give me what picks you're riding with tonight. And if you guys have a good night, you have a chance to be shouted out in tomorrow's video. I hope you guys like this hashtag of the day stuff. I want to do what I can to, I guess, include anyone watching or anyone that's kind of stuck along on this journey. So let me know if you guys are enjoying the hashtag of the day and the chance for a shout out as well. Because I think it's just one little unique thing that we could do. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for any player props or anything like that I'm adding tonight. And let me know in the comments down below what you are riding with, if you're riding with any of my pinned comment plays or anything like that. But we will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out. Let's cash some money for the weekend here. We got a good Friday, bunch of games to pick on. Let's make some money. I'll catch you guys in the next one.